as a salesperson, what's something you need to know about the decision-making process and oscillation, and why does it matter? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from San Diego, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about decision-making. Now, you're going to be in a process with a buyer at some point, and you're going to be talking to them, and you're going to be going back and forth, and you're going to be towards the end of the sales call. And you've given your presentation, your product demonstration, you've done your discovery phase, you've asked all your questions, you've tied your emotions into the process. There's going to be a point where you're going to talk to the buyer and say, how would you use this product? What would you do with it? Tell me what you like about it. Tell me how it would benefit you. And then you just got to step away. And one of the things that I'll see is salespeople don't understand the role and the process of the presentation. And that buyer's in oscillation mode. They're thinking, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? I'm going to buy. I'm not going to buy. I'm going to buy. I'm not going to buy. And we all do this when we make purchases. And so what will happen is the salesperson is not paying attention. He's like, I'm in presentation mode. I got to talk. Like, no, at some point you have to get the buyer engaged and get them to discuss what they would do, how they would do it, what they would use the product for, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, and get that off the table. And sometimes people tell me, like, you should be doing that at the beginning of the call. They don't know enough about the product. They can't do it that early, right? There is a time for this. And you as a salesperson just got to take it and get out of the way. You just got to pick it up, run with it, get out of the way. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be good. Okay. So one of the greatest things that you can do when legal and when you get permission is record a sales presentation and then have it transcribed. I'm a huge believer in this because there's going to be things in your presentation you're like, there's no way in the world that I said that. Yeah, because you hit rapport with the buyer and because you were able to have that conversation, you did. And you're going to look around and be like, there's no way that I gave that example. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to say, yeah, you did. I've ridden with enough salespeople to know sometimes they're giving the presentation. I'm looking, I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? What are you doing? Right? You're like way out in left field. It happens. It happens. So there's probably 1, 2, 3 sales in the last month or so, last 2 months that were pretty much a done deal. And somehow you talked yourself out of it, right? There's a point in your sales presentation where you got to look at the buyer and say, how would you use this? What would you do with it? And let them go. Let them go to town. Just stop talking. And you may word it a little bit different. I'm not saying you have to say it exactly like I do. You don't have to use the same personality that I do, but at some point, you got to see where they're at. You got to do like some sort of a check-in. And you got to ask them that question. And if you don't, what's going to happen is they're just going to be like, telling isn't selling. You got to ask them questions. You got to get them to tell some stories. And then like you can have the ability to go back and tie it to an emotion. Right? You need some sort of emotion tied to your product or service to make that deal happen. It makes the selling process easier. It doesn't make it perfect. It just makes it that much easier. Okay? So you got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent out a video. You should check it out, which you should. We'll see you soon. Aloha.